Here we go. Monday, June 30th. Back. Recording here for my journal. Got 3 minutes to 9:30 open here. I have a bullish bias. At the moment, kind of what I'm hoping to see is on open. I want to see it come down and take some equal lows. Then right down here, I'd love to see it take Asia low. And then continue on its merry way. We have a couple of fair value gaps. So part of me has 1 hour fair value gaps. Part of me is wondering SMT here, if pre-market it already took the liquidity, London low, and it's going to come up for this trendline liquidity here. That's a possibility, but given that the 15-minute over here is in an accumulation phase, kind of wasn't too excited to enter that pre 9:30, rather wanting to see a little bit more information post 9:30. And if it comes down and grabs either these equal lows here, which more likely happen there, going, or what. So I'm just waiting for a little bit more info. Want to enter on this breaker inversion setup quite yet. Working on trading an eval today of 50K. Probably going to be my last day trading it. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of trading on it. So part of me wants to over leverage and just pass it and be done with one trade. Or I could wait for maybe 2 reasonably positioned trades. I don't know. So we have SMT here at this low, hovering right around midnight. So blue lines to midnight open. London took Asia. Oh, there we go. It's the regular trading hour gap. A bullish SMT there. We have an inversion there. We're up fair value gap here on the 1 minute tailless candle. I would prefer for it to come down more. That's my only doubt behind a long here. So it's 1.2 R. Yeah, I like this push down. I see what. Somewhere in there, I don't know. Still don't think I'll, not sure if I want to over leverage it. I could get one more PM trade in. I'm expecting it not to be long here. It come down for previous day high, previous week high. Look at the gold Bach level. Here at this point, we are into the low of 81. We are in the low of the 243. pushing through this 1 hour fair value gap. So all this liquidity right here, some relative equal lows. This zone on top of this 1 hour fair value gap. Also a 4 hour fair value gap right down in there. That a short. There's a breaker. There was an inversion, but really no retest for an entry. $9.33, 3 minutes into this macro. The 1 minute. On the 1 minute, a little better. There was an inversion. Could have been a short, but I wasn't sure if it would come down into this gap or this gap. I'm okay waiting. First presented fair value gap. There. %50 of the opening range gap. Let's see. So Asia low. Here we do have Asia low on the Dow was taken. There is some bullish SMT going on, marked right there. This moment, bullish SMT is forming. Clean it up a little bit, make it a little easier to see what's going on. All right, looking over here. 15-minute so far, doing what I would wanted to see, hoping to see. Coming down here, we had these equal highs, equal lows, excuse me. Asia right here coming down into that zone. 1 hour, tapping back into this breaker. 4 hour, somewhere in this fair value gap, tapping into it. 1 minute's looking like nice response. 3 micros for that. Now, do I want to double it? Mm-hmm. An eval, who cares? But it's like going to rebuild tomorrow, and I'm so close to passing it. I actually kind of cares to if I win the trade or not. I know is not a good thing. Okay. All right, coming in. We invert that. I'm gonna. There's SMT, higher time frame tap. Judas. Midnight opens above us. I would just like to see close above. Mm, see a little more strength than that. Not opposed to taking that version. Next candle. Um, shoot, we're outside of macro. It'll be outside of macro though. 1 minute, but I'm gonna allow 1 minute outside of macro, especially on an E. Um, uh, balancing this efficiency there, this fair value gap, and closing below. Closes below, we're going down, down, down. Next macro gonna be probably my. I would really like it if it balances this, creates a swing low, closes above. I would like that structure. Make me feel better about bringing my stop up because it shouldn't have any reason to come down here again. It balances this fair value gap and closes up here, inverts this. I'll 40. So right there, 550. I need to pass this now. Yeah, look at that. It's leaning a little more bearish in my opinion. This is the candle I would like to see bond. Got some nice relative equal highs here for the place actually. At this point, just waiting The next macro, I'm thinking this is the Judas, and taking out the long traders, stopping them out, rips up. The 9 a.m. open, 30 open. But that's looking bearish to me. We'll see. Could be just accumulating. Gross. See here, because we're on the previous week's high, the previous day's high, I believe. Previous day high, previous week high. Nice little version. Stop hunt to engage with, but like this structure here, a little bit deeper. Consequent encroachment of the regular trading hours. Gap has been tapped. Asia low on NQ is taken. Equilibrium on the gold block has been hit. Look at yes. YM, okay, so YM took all that liquidity and is turning bullish. Here we go. It's going to be outside of macro, isn't it? Measuring my risk. I like to do that ahead of time. I have to think if I need to make a quick split second decision. Do have yeah, an Asia low SMT with ES. There. 3 minutes till the next macro. I'm okay with a minute or so earlier. But doesn't look like it's going to do it. Valid. 2 minutes to the 950 macro. $11 until the next 1 hour candle, 4 hour candle closes. If curious what it was there lately, this 930 has been making the model. So here's a breaker version. Curious if there was any SMT up there. Nothing there. Nothing significant, I would say. Provided SMT for me to get in on that short. So I don't think I've had a trade yet. Do like how it's digging in into this fair value gap. Four-hour gap. Consequent encroachment of both of them right there. Please. So far, my prediction for the open was correct. Bearish move down. Now the question is it just bearish and going for further liquidity to the sell side? Or is this just a liquidity grab itself? 950 macro. Let's see here. So if I wanted to get in on this, I have an inverted fair value gap here. We have a 15-minute consecutive candle SMT. But price is below the first presented fair value gap. So I like it being below midnight. I like to retest midnight. Been hovering around it all night. While we're waiting for this, look at the daily candle. The daily candle just taking liquidity, so there is the possibility that we come down for some of this rebalancing on the daily time frame, which would make today bearish and me off sides. So on the weekly, testing this breaker gap here, new week opening gap, supporting on the previous week's high, tends to be the tendency. Go like that lately on the lower time frame. For it to be perfect for me, would like to see it dig into this area first, but it looks like it's possibly gonna give a setup might be worth putting up some risk for doing that. Six minutes till the next hourly and 4 hour candle. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Trading is what, 90% sitting on your hands. On myself some of these things, so I'm sitting here waiting. Oh, nope, no close above on this gap. Gonna do it this time. I have no clue if this is winning trade or not. All I know is my model presents, put up the risk. Not looking like it wants to do it. Maybe it's making me feel like it does want to dig down further in the next hourly open. Is in 3 minutes. We'll see. That would make me feel a little bit better at this point. I'd have been happier with this setup if it was at 950. Then price could have moved up higher. This was 950. Price move up higher, and then the hourly open happens, retraces, and then keeps. That's now at this point. If I enter, I had an entry available in the next minute or two. It's possible price could do this, stop me out, and then go my way anyway. So at the moment, I'm okay with how this is presenting. Don't have this is a bit of a high. This is a high resistance run so far. back and forth. Watch, it's going to do it right now. Make me decide right now, isn't it? Be it. If it does, I'll take it. Can't be afraid to take your setup. Something I've struggled with a bit. I'm just kind of freezing up, see my setup. Not closing above. But also patient pays. Hydra says, and I agree. And we go close above. $25 till the next hourly open. Gosh. So here's where I'm a little unsure what I want to do because it's close to closing above. Probably will. But I really would like to see that hourly open. And I guess I could also get in on the breaker. But it looks like it's making the decision for me. No close above, no trade. Hourly open. I'd like to see it trade down and then or closes above. That's fine too. Look at that. Strong. So here's my inversion. Unconfirmed inversion. I don't like that cam. Wait. It's building up this trend line liquidity down here. So let's see here. This is interesting. Kind of a lower time frame breaker, but here's the 1 minute breaker. There's a close above that inversion. Did a retest on that inversion. I'm not stoked about the trend line liquidity here. We have everything except for that. Yes. A setup. It's not an A plus setup. Retesting this inversion. Could get in. Could also get in on that breaker. Being patient. Trying to learn the balance between being too patient too, though. I can tend to do that. We have a 15-minute consecutive candle, bearish SMT, a 15-minute consecutive candle, bullish SMT, 5 minutes, price has hardly moved. It's consolidating around the hourly open. Just look around a little bit. 5-minute value gap here. Bearish order flow, 15-minute. 15 minutes tapped into this gap. Which, if it was bearish, it would tap into this gap and keep it down. I'm offside. Probably go down there. 1 hour. So the 1 hour created this inversion. Confirm that. Which I like. I think it's okay because tapped into this gap, and I've seen often two fair value gaps next to each other with a bit of space between them. This one turns into inversion, taps into this one, and then reinverts this again. The 4 hour. There's a volume imbalance down in here. 751. The bottom of this gap here, but it doesn't have to come down there. If it's really bullish, it could just tap into this gap and going. At the moment, I'm okay, I guess, with sitting on my hands. Not looking like it wants to do anything. 8:05, 5 minutes left in this macro. So had I entered, I'd just be chopping around my entry. I like that liquidity grab. That would help me want to take a long off that breaker. Is that a tailless candle? No. See what this next candle does. It can trade down into here. Flip around bullish, and I'm fine with that. Slightly leveraged for this eval, but that's if you're I like that. If this closes up here, nice bullish candle. A lot of some of this liquidity is mitigated. Another bullish SMT. Could take it as an order block. On my model, gosh, that would be such a better RRR though. Here's the breaker. Oh, this whole Order flow is starting to look like it wants to engage. Was looking like, now not. At least that candle. Like this candle and this candle. Bearish candle and this bullish candle. Liked. There is the 243 gold block high of. It's bullish. It will disrespect it, but I would have much preferred a low on the gold block to be providing support. That does doubt slightly for this consolidation. So the move was coming. How much we I know? 810 outside of macro, and it's going to do it. Do 1 minute outside of macro. 10:10 on the New York time. 810. Two minutes outside of macro. And eval, I guess. So good if it's an eval. All right, market it in. A little higher than I would have liked. I would have liked to retest on the breaker. I just wasn't sure if it was going to give that to me. I'm assuming is bullish. Okay. Okay. Pretty sure this and this. I think my stop can be rich. If it comes down to there, it's probably bear. Oh, look at that retest on the breaker. Printing a 15-minute bearish SMT. Nothing to do but let it do its thing. That looks all of a sudden that right there looks short to me. Taps into the 15-minute, taps into there. It closes below there. That right there. Although I like that tailless candle. Yep, some of this stuff. Trendline liquidity. Oof. All of a sudden, now I can see it both ways. I don't care for that. I think it's just an eval. Tailless candle. Nice response there. I'm half tempted to collapse it if it there. Looking at consequent encroachment on 15-minute. Tapped into. Is it still bullish SMT? Did that change? Let's see. Oh, there is. No, it's the Asia low is taken. 1 hour low with YM. So there is 1 hour bullish SMT. Us. Gosh, I really don't want to shorten this market though. That close, this closes below, I'm probably toast. Close below. Gosh, do I want to flip short? Here's a breaker. Right there, I could go short off of. Really want to. I don't like outside of macro though. Well, what it is. It's just if I could. Here is the chance to go short. So let it stop me out fully, then I am wrong and missed my shot at the short. Gosh dang. Shorting NASDAQ is not enjoyable. Like my stop's a little too tight. It could come for those equal lows. Is that a tailless candle? No. Come for those equal lows and then okay with this even. They'll go higher. Got some lows, clear out some of that trendline liquidity. Technically, my stop's too close. Could beat the swing if I wanted. Here's the breaker. 1.5 are still somewhat acceptable. I first presented fair value gap, the green box here. Flipping that. It was formed there, resistance here, resistance, inverted it, inverted it. Pretty bearish signal. One hour is balanced. Kind of feeling it right now. Yep. Else in here, I want to be some flexibility on my over leveraged eval trade. Now this guy right there, a couple of semi-equal lows, relative equal lows, really, and it can come over. I'm going to assume that's a loss. I guess with this one, I'm okay with whether I lose 350 or 400 is negligible. Come down here a little bit. There was bearish SMT support. Fair value gap here. Now below the hourly open, so this could be the tail of the hourly candle. Really, if it flips this, we could do still a breaker and inversion bearishly right there. So here's a bearish breaker. Flip short. Doesn't really feel like it wants to run today. See what the other indices. Ooh, ES is just accumulating. YM still dropping. They are out of sync. So ES and NQ more in sync, but ES is definitely more sideways. NQ at least has some kind of structure to it, where this is just straight up consolidation. YM just flagging downwards. Here's a retest of this 30-second breaker. Side a macro. So I could take the loss and flip short right there. Too late right there. Yeah. Gosh. Higher time frame looks bullish to me. Medium time frame, 15-minute, 1 hour. Lower time frame looking bearish. Four-hour. Neutral to maybe more bearish now that I look at the 4-hour. Suppose this is one of those situations where I should just step away and let it do what it wants to do. It's not wanting to move. Since 950, been stuck in this price range here. Hovering around the hourly open. Actually, value gap. Not an inversion. Value gap. Bearish version for inverted fair value gap. Feel differently if got a closure above there. I think it will. No news Monday. Non-farm Thursday, and banking holiday on Friday. Really give us care. Either I'm going to be right or I'm going to be wrong. One of the patient. Is there any reason why it would? Why would it go higher than that? It's taken external range. I guess because on the daily, ES hasn't hit its targets. YM is nowhere near its target or targets. Look at that, closed above my order flow line, order flow bullish above here. So at this point, I can trail my stop. Possible. Keep doing that when I want to fib. Projects from this zone here, 786, 893. Keeps going down. That's totally on the table. Top all morning through here. What it's starting to look like. One-hour consecutive candle SMP, 15-minute consecutive candle bearish SMP. Not gonna lie, part of me says just get out of the trade and save the mess. So 1 hour stop hunt, 4 hour. Entered right here. I thought this was gonna. I saw this inertia coming up. Thought it was gonna go here. It could have just kept going like it sometimes likes to do. Could have retraced, but I was expecting maybe a small retracement, which I could find being in drawdown, rocketing up, and instead we got Chop City. So waiting to see if waiting for more information. A 15-minute has a nice bullish closure, but it's still resisting on the this candle here is bearish black candle. Look at the liquidity. Chopping, look at the 5-minute. Chop, chop, chop. Too late, I'm already in it. Bullish closure right there. And if that 15 didn't have that bullish closure, be more concerned. Still am a little concerned that I'm on the wrong side trading. One-hour inverted, balance to there. 4 hour is not moving. This is just going to be chopping. In my head, I'm just wondering, this eval needed one trade to pass. Do I care? And I say, do I care? Because it rebuilds tomorrow, so resets anyway if I don't pass it today. Drops like this, I could come down into here and then still go there. So I like it's generating some liquidity up here. Boom, boom. There's a bunch. We just took NQ just took sell side, bunch of sell side. Now there's buy side available. That doesn't mean it will. It could keep going for a whole lot more of the stops below. ES is looking heavy. IM. Real quick. Top. What's the time? 10:30. So when this is the case, if there's accumulation from 950 macro, 1020 macro, usually it breaks out 10:30-ish, one way or the other. So it's been accumulating, going to break out one way or the other in the next little bit, or it keeps going sideways until I'm getting different stories. YM is just floating down. ES is just sideways, and NQ is forming a bit of a, it's consolidating. Be real. This is where it just starts eating at you. You know, I entered on this candle here, right here. So it's just been chopping drawdown. Earlier, I was talking about I would consider shorting this. This move here, which it would have retested fairly deep into short. So that's where like I would have shorted here on the confirmation of this breaker and this inversion, and felt somewhat okay about it. But how deep it kind of came up into here and retraced, telling me it's not ready to do either. So if I was short, I would have gone into drawdown close to my stop loss too. No different than I am my long here. My long is chopping a little bit longer. That short would have, because obviously the long happened first by so I wouldn't be happy if necessarily if I was in that short either. Really, no trade sitting on my hands was the thing to do. So what would have been the clues to that? probably this price action here. This was showing me an unwillingness to run. These these candles from here on go, okay, it looks like it's going to run. I've seen that time and time again. I said, nope, not doing nothing. Oh, 5 minutes accumulating, 15-minute is looking bearish at this moment, but accumulating like this, it just goes back and forth. 1 hour looking bearish, could still close, could turn itself around. Okay, let's get kind of looking around. Really wanted to see that 50 up this fair value gap, which still might. I would have expected it on this candle. Nice response. This is what I don't like is the 1 hour. Tapping at this breaker. Fair value gap. Version here. We are here. Took this liquidity, but this candle here closing is a compression. Wanted to see expansion. Feel like the 4 hour wants to volume and balance support in this gap ski here. But if we're going to find support, it's going to be here. This is not a would have taken this trade again. Think I have any regrets on this? Does this make look like retail patterns? Oh, thank you. Breakfast,
Very pan.
blueberry. Yummers. Thank you, mister. Breakfast delivery. Ori. The 15-minute closed. Closed below the mean threshold of this rejection. Pretty, pretty bearish signature to me. Unless it continues to chop 15 minutes, which, what did I say? I was expecting 10:30 to break out or not. Yeah, pretty much like Top City. Price didn't break out by 10:30-ish. You even say 10:50 macro by 11. No fun for anyone. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Anything else we can? All right, the gold box. I was expecting that. That does add a bearish narrative. This Asia form with the, who was it? Asia took the all-time high on the B adjusted chart. London took Asia New York slams down. Is this the high of the day? That is the question. Okay. In which case, all the wick. I'm offside. I would be, part of me wouldn't be surprised because so much liquidity below for days and days. Like, look at this. But I can't just call the top and short the top. That would be insane, in my opinion. Look at, it's going to come for it. I would just need to see more confirmation on the 4 hour before I'm short down into it. Taking this liquidity here, I'm going to mark. That's my biggest signal for shorting. However, my expectation was to see it push up higher, do a couple drives higher, and then flip short. Well, go one level higher on the gold buck. $729. Haven't price hasn't reached equilibrium. Kind of what I was expecting. What I would expect. Wasn't expecting it. Would expected it. Now that I see that. Comes down, taps into equilibrium. That's like the 1, 2, 3 drives in tracement down into all this. Previous day equilibrium. Lately, we've been finding support on the previous. Yeah, I think just luck of the draw on this trade. Weak opening gap. Blasting off the weak opening gap and coming for it. Could be coming for it now. Bullish above it. Just my drawing because that is I was expecting a drop down up. So I'm obviously wrong if we keep going down after I entered. After I entered, I assumed that was the bottom. I assumed right here was the bottom. We were going up. No 5-minute PD arrays in here other than this gap. Oh my goodness, this is oh, and the 2 minute 1 minute still forming a minute. I like these equal right there. So we're in the next macro. I would like to see come down, sweep these equal lows. Oh, look at that. Take a 10-minute break and it's gone next to no. Saw someone tweet for them, they were expecting all-time highs being taken overnight, being Monday before Hal speaks. They weren't expecting much out of the market, and I suppose I should have maybe taken two. So I'm trading an eval that has to be traded today. So trying to find that balance, and so this is going up. It didn't take any of this liquidity. So if it didn't take this, that's starting to make me feel like it's going to do the. Going to come up here, run up some of that, and go down there. So if that's the case, I'll probably collapse the trade. And reduce my expectations. Would like to see a nice stop hunt. Get out up in longest trade I think I've had in real. Bullish SMT, YM, 1 hour. I like that. ES, NQ, bullish SMT, 1 hour. Doesn't guarantee anything, but had these here. Doesn't feel significant, this to me. I feel like it needs at least purge this swing, preferably this swing. I would say it's for sure coming down here, if not here. These targets. But this mini purge here, those two equal highs. Now I could see it being doing that still too. Trying to be reactive, update my narrative based off of what I'm seeing. I could be totally wrong. That could be all it needed. Those two equal highs, and then it sinks. This is about the only time I like pattern. Helps me kind of see that could have been the fake breakout to go lower. But as steep as that angle is, penance, possible too. Been in this trade for like an hour. Some of my trades are like 15. Sometimes 5. Okay, I took those equal lows. Taking, took. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Yes. Yes, took all that liquidity. It's coming for me. Bearish. These. bullish S&P response on that 1 minute candle bar. If it comes below here, it's 99% sure. IM's making nice bullish right here, an inversion, a breaker, testing that. Yes, it's just ugly. Creating this liquidity down below. Yes, ugly duckling right. That closed down there below the encroachment of this candle's wick. Assuming I'm trades an L. Like what IM is doing. ES needs to get a handle on itself. I had my fib tool, moved it on my toolbar. 9.3's right there. That's the last line of defense, is that right there. Look at that, it touched the 893 perfect. Now to the tick on the. That's it. Giving it a little bit of wiggle room. Below that 893. $15-minute bearish. Now it's chopping down. Time did I enter this trade? There, 2 minutes out of macro. And for an hour. That was it. That was the equal highs it wanted. Formed this inversion to that. Didn't have any SMT or higher time frame level tap that I could have shorted that either. So really, for me, look back, had I longed that inversion, opposed to waiting for this breaker, I would have gotten out with a partial and break even. I just wanted a titch more confirmation. So now that it's come down into here, this is either a swing low or it's going for this. Good, reducing my risk by a bit. So yeah, that was it. I could have taken that inversion. I was just wanting to take the breaker instead. And probably would have done something like this. So would I probably wouldn't have even gotten. Might still, I might still be in it. Probably would have, possibly. Hard to say. Okay, so the 5 minute finally formed a PD array. Fair value gap. That doesn't invert. Post it. So we can just read order flow. Here's a 1 minute for value gap. 1 minute for value gap. We have a liquidity sweep. 1 minute. Nice rejection for value gap. So this is a balanced price range. Price has no reason near term to come down into here. Just bearish. We have a volume imbalance right there. I just noticed. Price loves those. And let's see. We have this inversion here too. Now I can frame, both sides of the market to some extent. There's a same thing, a stop hunt inversion. Certainly wouldn't be taking any trades here if I was not already in a stop. Bearish, it shouldn't come back and test this. Projected off this inversion. Bearish breaker. If it wasn't chopping, I would exit. But because it's chopping, it could still up into here and I could get out for break even. I'm not skilled enough to guess with any degree of accuracy when doing this, which it's going to be for me. It's just cost. PD arrays are getting disrespected left and right. this volume imbalance balanced. Light volume balance on the top side of this fair value gap too. Pretty close to time to just walk away and let the trade play out. I don't even know if I should record it. Starting to look like it wants 5 minutes. Fair value gap. Right here. Bit-ish. Bit. That's chop. It's like one of the things I'm happy about right now. Not experiencing much in the way of emotion. Other than just like kind of like bored. I don't care. This isn't stressing me out one way or the other. Not good to be sitting here being chopped through a trade, but very least I can recognize I don't give two. Oh, that feels like a win. Be able to sit here through all of this and not care too much. Canon. All the time, but hey, I guess it's an eval. Okay, so solid rejection off this. And it should just keep chopping. One-minute change in state of delivery. There. Closes below this inversion. Pretty much game over. Bit of a volume imbalance forming right there. Usually you see momentum with those volume imbalances. Either they, like right here, shoot price down, shoot price up. Tailless candle. Bullish signature. Here's a fair value gap here. Sibby. That's a Sibby too. The bearish PD arrays are holding a little stronger than the bullish PD arrays. This stop hunt, the only thing that makes me think, otherwise I probably would have be out of trade, but bearish, bearish. But hey, we're in consolidation, right? Bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. Bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish. That's fine. Like, is this a liquidity sweep or is this? This looks more significant than this. But if order flow is truly bearish, all it needs is this right there. Now look at these candles here. All of these, very choppy. Inverted this. Bearish inversion. Breaker, bearish breaker is holding. Come stop me out. I'm cool. I'm ready to be done. Step away from this. Not part of the game. It could still take this liquidity and go. Difference is next. And I know it says don't move that stop loss MF. I don't mind adjusting it and trailing it depending on what I'm seeing. That's okay. Reminding to myself that that's to not just go straight break even too quickly on a winning trade. That's what that's for. I don't ever move my stop loss further. Like I've already accepted that. So anywhere I play with it in here, that's legit. It's when I'm in the green and I move my stop up to break even. Not okay by me. Look at this. Now that's an inversion. PD arrays failing left and right. Right. Nothing's safe. Wonder if there's any SMT here or what the look at YM. YM is doing exactly what I wanted it to, what I wanted the Nasdaq. Look at that. Yes. Gosh. Look at this resistance up in here. All right, we're flipping PD arrays. All right, I was checking for SMT. I got excited when I saw YM. Yeah, I mean, here's a big why the indicator's not picking up this SMT, but it's there. Big SMT, probably a 1 hour consecutive candle. This bearish breaker failed. This gap's holding. This failed. This failed. This coming in inversion. That's the liquidity equalize. Like this is a even here. I wouldn't be ballsy enough to take this, but my mentor might have. Seeing all this chop, stop hunt. There's a breaker. Um, close above an inversion, put along to that inversion. But it's risky because this is Chop City. Like, is it just going to go up to here and chop? But this amount of chop, I feel like it might run for a bit, even though it is all-time highs smash overnight. It might. Truly the longest trade I've ever been in. Well, and that's not true totally, because years ago trading different time frames, like 15-minute and different assets. I'm sure I was in a hour and a half long trade before, but in the last year or so, trading NQ on the 1 minute, my entry. Haven't been in a trade this long. Retesting this version. Gap right there. Bullish. ED arrays on the 1 minute are holding. For the 5 minute, it did invert that. The first, aside from an SMT down here, first semblance of bullishness on the 5 minute. What did he take an SMT? Still within the range, and this fair value gap is significant. Price has not been able to get above this fair value gap. Closing above this, that it's on for the rest of the after day, probably, possibly 15. Gosh, I haven't been caught up in this. Luckily, a price action in a while. I guess I felt like I had to. Well, the question I had to take a trade. I felt like I had to take a trade because I wanted to pass this eval today before rebills tonight. It was a reasonable setup. Looking at the 1 hour, this inversion where price is coming into. One thing I do want to note is this. Dang-a-lang. Just gonna do. No, I'm gonna keep this rejection block. So that's significant. Consequent mean threshold rejection block. Also the gold block high. Right here where this breaker is. 40. Oh, you can't see the breaker. I'm on my other screen. Okay. 4 hour. Target acquired. We tapped into the fair value gap. Not quite in the mean threshold of that rejection block, but is this rejection block here. So time is it? Time to collapse the trade for a $78 loss and call it done. Dollar loss. Maybe. Just weighing on if I want to set it and walk away. I stop because I do. Maybe thinking about this from a higher time frame perspective might help me decide. Supposed to be a little more on the hopeful side. So, looking at the daily, I would say, oh wow, external range taken. Back some kind of pullback. Volume imbalance here. But that's where I was thinking a little higher. Weekly. Well, the 30-minute weekly open. Look at the 4 hour. So the 4 hour tapped into the gap with candlesticks. That's exactly what I would expect on the 4 hour. Be to tap into a gap. Go take external range. External, right? Swing liquidity, rebalance to a fair value gap and repeat. Swing liquidity, rebalance to a fair value gap and repeat. But this is all-time high. Making it more significant for a deeper retracement. And price didn't come into the consequent encroachment of that fair value. Making it feel like, even if I'm on sides general, this candlestick is a compression, zip closing is a compression, comes down into the consequent encroachment, then continues. So did I prematurely enter? When it's bullish, that's exactly what it does. It doesn't give you a full retest and come down, tap the top of the gap, sometimes take external, then come down for the consequent encroachment further. And bullish-ish. This could be the liquidity grab if it's bearish. So take a look at. Well, I'm moving my stop up here. Even shouldn't. I'm wrong if it doesn't. Comes down here. I'm just going to reduce my expectations. Not a high R trade. passes. So here I could take my risk off the table. Be up. That's maybe a wise thing saying that. It's a wise thing to get out for a small loss. Do we have any bearish S&P? ES, bearish SMT forming. ES is being weird. IM's going. Yeah. New 15-minute candle. Formed a gap. Could trade down into that. So let me think here. This is just not a normal decision because it's eval rebills. So what happens? If I let it go, I could possibly pass it. Then I can pay for the rebill and turn it into a funded, or rebills any which way. I guess the question is, do I want to trade it or not? Versus full port. I am in lower probability conditions. Recognize that. Monday, no news. House speaks. Holiday. So there's something to be said for taking it easy this week. This much consolidation. Could be the liquidity grab. I don't see my model here, so that'd be an inversion and a breaker. Pulled back low now. 5-minute closed. 5-minute for value gap, 5-minute for gap. I feel like if this was the stop hunt, it would have rejected. Can't do whatever the heck it 15. This 15 gap balancing back up in 15 breaker, bearish breaker. I expected to fail. $15 going to produce probably a fair value gap. 5 minute tapping back into this breaker. I don't know. Give it a little time. So that is a stronger rejection. That could be a stop. The 15 gap and inverting this could be the short. Yes. Bearish SMT. Yes. ES is shaped up a little bit. Look. Not really. Nothing. PD array. IM's coming hard. It also rallied hard. What was that? A 15-minute gap we're looking. 15-minute compression candle. $15-minute has a bullish fair value gap. bullish signature in a market that's bearish. This the Judas, right? Judas. I was assuming this was the Judas, but if I'm wrong, this was wrong. This closes above. I could probably trail my stop, reduce my risk by half. Who knows if it will or won't? I feel like how this candle closes on the 5 is going to decide what to do. If it's going to keep chopping, it closes down here and it wants to come down here, I'm just done. We'll make some latte. But if it closes above this, creates an order block, yeah, maybe so. On the 1 minute, so relative equal highs, I like that. Tailless candle, that's bullish. I like that. I don't like this liquidity zone here. But I was saying it could still want to come down and go up, in which case I'm kind of over it. Minute 29 on this 5-minute candle. Closes bullish. I'm going to trail my stop and stay in it. If it doesn't close bullish, I'll probably just take whatever loss I get and exit near break even. It's just not worth it. Close above here. This could be more accurately the breaker. There's a version here. Kind of more what I'm basing my. No, I'm lying. Fair value gap. Stops place. Sure. Trail my stop up here. Like that. I don't like what YM's doing. I don't like what ES is doing. I don't like it. So I'm ready to go break even on this. Yeah, I zoom in on ES, it looks a little better. I spoke a little soon. This is ugly, but this right here is starting to look a little nicer. YM came down for a nice long retracement into discount. Converts that 5-minute fair value gap. I'd like that. Here we have a 5-minute gap starting to form possibly on the NQ. Take my money and run all morning for $100 on an eval. Where is this sell limit? For the midnight, got resistance here. 5-minute can come down into here and balance and still be bullish. I think it's going to gap up though. 6. Running out of time. I got to go somewhere. 30. Tap this order. Move it. Tap that. Break even. $15-minute gap. Come on, just stab up and get a couple. Oh, right there. See, take this liquidity, then you can. So this is likely a fair value gap. A swing, making it a key fair value gap. High probability fair value gap. Where is it? Too many fair value. First presentation. Present fair value busy. First presentation. No, the key fair value gap. Here it is. The bullish order flow is engaging. 1 minute, 5-minute of bullish. 15 minutes starting to turn bullish. I wouldn't call it bullish quite yet. There's been a change in state of delivery on the 15. Takes one of these, I can go make a coffee. Takes this one. I'll that one quick. Come on. Still could be a while. Like this next candlestick could come down and balance in here. All right, that is a fair value gap. Why isn't that self stop? Like how that self stop on. All right, is my browser locked up? Oh, there we go. Go break even on it. It could very well tap me. So I should either feel like I should either just exit and all gain. Guess that's the question. No, I want to pass it today. Breaker version. Testing the breaker. Bullish closure on the 15 if it closes above there. Thought about putting that sell limit right below that all time. Break even. That was the local stop hunt, or it's coming. Like how it's looking. Tailless 5 minute. Tailless 1 minute can't. It's either going to be bullish AF or bearish, which makes sense. I just am not willing to hold through retracement back down. Happily be more conservative now. Tailless candle. Out. Or -6. Okay, well, that's it. I'm done. That was unbelievable. 3 hour long trade for break even. Wowzers. Cool.